There is a lot you can say about the Backrooms and how it plays around with the feeling of dread that you'd feel if you just suddenly arrive at a seemingly never-ending maze, where your only companion would be your inner thoughts and the occasional noodle monster. The Backrooms have become increasingly well known across the entire internet, and rightfully so. It all stems from liminal spaces. A common consensus is that a lot of people have this weird feeling when looking at a liminal space, that being an odd sense of nostalgia. Like you've been to this place once, but you just can't put your finger on it. Liminal spaces are very well known, but they never had a story behind them, and that's where 4chan comes in. The original 4chan post about the Backrooms gave us just enough information to make liminal spaces even scarier than they already were. Imagine you actually no-clip and end up being stranded in this place somehow, just wandering around endlessly, without your phone to keep up with the new MatPat theory videos, slowly going insane as you feel someone, or rather something, is watching you. The only thing you can hear is the sound of the lights above you, and you turn each corner expecting something horrific to pop out at you, and then nothing. This is my favorite type of horror, one that focuses more on the inner conflict of one's isolation and loneliness, rather than a big scary monster jumping out at you. Don't get me wrong, the original post does indeed mention something wandering around this place along with you, but I feel like that was never really the main point of the entire thing. If that part didn't exist, then you'd have absolutely nothing to worry about. You know, other than starving to death and going insane. So cool, you know, people really like this concept. There was this simple but interesting game made, which is actually the background footage of this video, and it was all a niche little thing that appeared in 2019, but the whole thing didn't really get picked up until around 6 months ago at the time of making this video, when Kane Pixels made his first video on the Backrooms. This video got really popular, like 35 million views popular, and it's all earned. The whole series is unironically really good, and it's because of it that the Backrooms are practically everywhere you look now. So with this new wave of popularity, people started making more Backrooms content. And this is where, in my opinion, everything starts going downhill. For you to have the entire context for this next part, we need to head a bit back, before Kane Pixels made his videos. Some of you may have already heard of the Backrooms wikis. There are several of them, but the ones I'll be referring to here are the Fandom Wiki and the Backrooms Wiki.wiki. These were created so people could further expand on the lore of the Backrooms. The original image became known as Level 0, and I think you already know where I'm going with this. More levels were beginning to be made, Level 1 being this underground sort of place, with pipes sprawling along the ceiling. Yo, it's Roblox characters. I'll just leave them be. I don't think I want to go there. Level 5, which is this hotel similar to the one seen in The Shining. And then there's everything else. Jesus Christ, look at how many levels there are. How do you go from like a few of them to like 1,000? And everyone is trying to one-up each other. At first it makes sense, right? It goes from level 0 to level 1047. Then whoops, the next one gets skipped. Then a couple more, and then people start taking random numbers in the thousands. Then whatever the fuck these are, and then there's the infinity levels with these stupid symbols, and then there's the entities. Look, I can get behind there being more than just one level in the Backrooms, even though I still think it takes away a bit from the original post. I can even get behind a couple of creatures being there with you, but come on, some of these entities are just so stupid. Capybaras, caretaker, users. Notice, this entity may seem like a joke, but it is not. Followed by this image. I'm sorry, but I cannot take this image fucking seriously. In fact, I could probably make something similar to this in MS Paint. And yeah, I know there's different canons and that the fandom wiki is generally regarded as being shit, but the convolution still appears even on the more official Backrooms wiki, that being the wiki.one. Although, to its credit, these levels and entities are significantly more well written than the fandom ones. Wiki.backrooms has a quality filter, much like the SCP Foundation. In fact, the way the entities and levels are all listed is heavily reminiscent of the way SCPs are classified. So why the fuck am I talking about the wikis, and what does it have to do with everything? You see, the nice thing about the Backrooms is how you can basically make up your own canon and add your own levels and monsters, as dumb as some of them might be. Although I personally enjoy the unexplained nature of the original post, and not the everything has to be explained version that's more popular, but you know, whatever. I even asked people on Twitter, follow me by the way, at Ducklex_, what their thoughts are on the backrooms, and it's really interesting to hear why some people prefer a specific take on them. And it's also nice to see that my opinion is the correct one. Objectively, I will not be taking any further questions. Now, if it was just the previously mentioned adding levels and monsters, fuck it, I wouldn't care at all. It's nice seeing how creative people can get. But there's one thing that annoys me, and to talk about it, we need to go back to the YouTube side of things. As with anything that becomes popular and trendy, YouTubers will flock to it like a swarm of angry hornets. There are so many goddamned videos explaining the backrooms and listing the scariest levels and entities. And then there's the reactions to those videos, and holy shit, please get the fuck out of my recommended. There's also so many animations too, and most of them are in the similar style of the original Kane Pixels video. I saw a video which was like an infinite slide in the backrooms. At the end of the video, the main guy just gets teleported back to the start of the slide. And even though I personally didn't like the video, it was a nice new idea at least. But then what that video unleashed was a wave. No, a fucking tsunami of backroom slide videos. Holy shit, please just stop. I said before that even if I'm not a fan of having so many levels and monsters, I can at least appreciate some of the creativity that it takes to make them. But all of these slide videos are just soulless attempts at trying to get that little view counter to go higher. It's all just leeching off of a thing that got popular because it was genuinely good. The backrooms have contracted what I like to call the fnaf syndrome. And what this basically is, right? It's when horror media starts getting marketed towards kids. You cannot convince me that these videos aren't targeted to children. I mean, this one obviously is, but I'm talking about stuff like this.
This one is something called like the Bone Feaster. This one's called the Whiskey Whisker. And then this one over here is the Bloodsucker or something like that.
Let's go down a little checklist here. Backroom slide? Check. Found footage in the title? Check. This is a gameplay video, by the way. And last but not least, the same stupid face YouTubers put in every single thumbnail. There's the Backrooms movie, and what the fuck is even going on here, man? How did we get here from just a short 2-paragraph 4chan post? So why am I wasting my time complaining about this when I can just scroll past any of the Backrooms videos I see? Well, first of all, they won't fuck up from my recommended. Second of all, is that it bothers me how so many of these people that just make the same exact copy and pasted Backrooms videos could produce some genuinely good content if they tried. There are some very talented people here, and if they just fuck off from the Backrooms and made something more original, it would be 100 times better. But instead what we have now is just amalgamations of all these trendy topics jammed in with the Backrooms to try and get popular as quickly as possible. And I honestly can't stand it, because what ends up being made is this. So here's my final thoughts. I really don't like any of the new backroom stuff. The original post was cool, and that's where it all ends for me. I think all of these YouTube videos are very exploitative, with a few exceptions of course. So the next time you're trying to decide if you want to watch a Backrooms video, or a video that doesn't seem like it's trying to do everything in its power to try and make you click on it, choose the latter option, because most of the time it'll be a better use of your time. So I guess that also means you shouldn't click on this video. Okay, so after you watch this video, do what I just said. So that's it. Like and subscribe for more Backrooms content. I'm gonna become a Backrooms content creator, and I'm gonna make a video on every single level and entity that there is. And they're all gonna be made in Minecraft as well. Follow me on social media for more Backrooms content, and a special thank you to my patrons who also love the Backrooms. So that's it. I'm just gonna go and explore the Backrooms in Roblox now. Bye bye!